What's up, everyone? Mike V here for Burke Family 54 Comics. Got my press pass and my crew with me. Right, check them out. We're about to walk in. Just as Steve says, let's go. All right, first steps. Looks like we got arcades set up over here. Tattoos and piercings. We know Steve needs a tattoo. Should have been here. Should have been here. So we got gaming set up over here. Got tabletop gaming over here. Video game arena, potential panel space. Looks like somebody playing Rock Band over there. That's a good throwback. Got a board game cafe. Looks like we have some guests set up over here. Cosplayers. Check out the main floor. All right, I really like the layout. That's its own separate area with a big divider. Now we're moving on to the main floor. Looks like we have some Toontown players over here hanging out, and looks like we got the rest of the main floor. See a sign for Artist Alley over there. Not gonna lie, Steve, you'll enjoy this part of watching it, but man, for a Saturday, pretty laid back for a Saturday. A VIP lounge over here. Oh, he's good. No worries. We got some vendor space over here. Let's go this way, babe.
Not a bad thing. Yeah. It's not a bad thing. The Pokeballs and like a lot of
Love looking around at the vendor spaces, but my wallet doesn't, especially now that my wife and baby are both here. Some sweet toys. Sorry, Steve, but we already had to make a snack stop. Stopped at their little concession stand. Pizza, phenomenal. Excellent, excellent pizza. Got her a nice crisp Dr. Pepper. Had to have it. And this one's just having the best time already. Oh, that's some cool art right there. Oh, look at those. Samurai Spidey characters. Oh, that's pretty sweet. Not gonna lie. Oh, creator space. Let's go that way. All right, CBCS is here, of course. They're probably not a big fan of JSA right now, but what are you gonna do? Now we are hitting the creator space. My son is a huge Spidey and His Amazing Friends fan. And so I've been trying to get various artists to kind of put remarks on here. And as the co-creator of Spider-Gwen, Ghosty, whatever you want to call her, that's perfect. So if you could put a remark on there, that would be great.
If it's for him, don't worry.
No, you can't do that.
Yeah.
I'm so angry and so happy at the same time. A friend of mine who lives down in Houston, he said that you do wonderful watercolors.
Oh, yeah.
So I might have to come back. We're going to be here longer tomorrow.
Yeah, I'll definitely be here tomorrow.
Come check it out. Awesome. Cool,
I think if you want to get something, probably tomorrow would be the best time because I know today's going to be.
Yes, exactly. The busiest of all.
Yeah.
It's amazing. How old is he?
He is one. He
14 months.
He turned 1 in March. So yeah.
Okay, 14 months.
Yes.
And you're going to keep him?
Yes, we're pretty fond of him.
Hi! Hello! Oh my God, look at that face. Oh my God, he's like a TV kid.
Oh my gosh.
Can't you see
Now you're starting to sound like my grandmother.
Commercials.
Just-
Yeah,
why don't you call
lay it
him
on
out?
me. We're still breaking stuff open. What's your name?
Mike.
Michael, nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you. And then you have the... Because you go by donation, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Sure. Whatever you'd like to donate to the heroes would be fine.
Jose Luis Garcia Lopez does that too. That's why when I saw that, I'm like, that's awesome that he did that.
Well, actually, we worked out a little hustle. So, you know, my agent runs the Heroes Initiative. So he makes a deal with the exhibitor where they pay me a little stipend to be here, and in turn, I don't actually sell anything. There's nothing for sale here.
Oh, that's awesome.
But if you make a donation, I will sign a poster or whatever, blah, 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 blah. So and any money that I make, it goes to Heroes.
Yes.
Because the show's already taking care of me.
So
that's how that works.
let me ask you this as a curiosity.
Sure.
What character was your favorite to write?
Oh, hold a gun to my head, would you?
I know you'd have to pick one. I'm personally the biggest fan of this one, but that's just me.
No, because see, Black Panther wasn't actually about Black Panther.
No, it wasn't.
That book was about Everett Ross, and it was about his cultural awakening.
Yes.
A white guy discovers there are black people. Oh my God, there are black people. I gotta tell you, I had a lot of fun writing Deathstroke.
Deathstroke, yes.
Okay, so at the moment I'm writing Deathlock, so I get them confused. And in the script I keep writing Deathstroke, and the editor goes, "What character are you writing?" And I go, "Oh, that's right, this is Deathlock." And then of course there is Deadpool,
yes,
who was a hoot to write because he's just an idiot. Oh, I'm sorry, Hayden. I'm sorry. Oh my God.
Yeah, I just want my dad.
I want to get out of the thing here.
There we go.
There you go. Hi. There
say
you
hi.
go.
You say hi.
Hello.
Oh.
I got a Mickey Mouse hand. Look.
You say thank
All right, Mike V, you are doing a great job here for the Burke Family 54 Comics YouTube channel, putting out a bunch of videos for us. But you also went to the con and grabbed a few things. Mike, do you want to show off what you got this week?
Yes. So someone that I got to meet that was absolutely amazing, Robbie Rodriguez, co-creator of Spider-Gwen. Okay. I have this book. It's a Spider-Man #1 blank sketch cover, and I just had the goal of getting Spidey and His Amazing Friends characters for my son, because that is his second favorite show. He loves that thing. So anybody that can draw Miles, Spidey, or Spider-Gwen. And I was like, how in the world can I not get the co-creator of Spider-Gwen to do a remark? So I got him to do this awesome remark on here. And he goes, "This is for your son, huh?" And thankfully it helps when your wife and son are right next to you. I'm like, "Yeah." And so he goes, "I'm not going to charge you anything." I was like,
"That's awesome."
Like,
That's
not,
so
awesome. I was like, "Not for a remark, man. Like the signature I get, but for remark." And he goes, "No, it's for your son. I'm not going to charge you. That's really cool that you're doing that for him." And I'm like, "That is amazing." So, shout out to Robbie Rodriguez. Absolutely awesome guy. Some stuff that I picked up. So I went to one of the 3 vendors. Shoot, I'll actually do this right now. And you can edit this out if you want to. But I want to specifically shout out Coops Comics out of Lawton, Oklahoma. Tim was amazing. He had the best vendor space, comic vendor by far, but that wasn't much of a competition when there was only 3. But he had this deal that if you bought 5 or more books from a certain section, half price books. And I was like, I am not going to pass up a deal like that. So found this, a Batman the Shadow #1, written by the guy who signed it, Scott Snyder.
Scott Snyder is the GOAT, man. He's goated.
Scott Snyder, yeah. $2.50. I got this book for $2.50.
Nice.
Speaking of $2.50, I got All New Wolverine #1. But I also got another one for $2.50 a piece. Near mint, beautiful copies.
Nice.
$2.50 for those. Not only did he have #1, the first print cover A, he also had #1, the 1 in 25. I got this for $15. Now, if you want to do some research on what this 1 in 25 is worth, near mint, beautiful copy. And then those of you that like hip hop covers, Avengers Standoff, Welcome to Pleasant Hill, the Outcast homage of Cap and Winter Soldier, got this one for $15 also. This, again, not a cheap book. So happy to pick that one up. And then we move on to books that I bought but also got signed while I was there. I already have a set of the Tower of Babel JLA issues signed by Mark Waid for my personal collection because that's one of my all-time favorite stories. But I went ahead and picked up Champions #1, beautiful near mint copy, written by the man himself, Mark Waid. Got him to sign it for me while I was there. Another $2.50 book I got from Tim over at Coops Comics. Then this one I bought at a different vendor, but this was in his kind of lower dollar bin. But I've been looking for this book for a while, but people are wanting like 15, 20 bucks for it because of this. Kelly Jones's design of Mr. Freeze is my favorite all time of Mr. Freeze designs.
Dude, it almost looks like a Kevin Eastman with like a bunch of hard lines. You know what I mean?
Yes, but I love it. Believe it or not, this design is what actually, fortunately or unfortunately, inspired Arnold Schwarzenegger's costume for Batman and Robin. But I just love that design. It's super sick. And his inker, John Beatty, who of course is Secret Wars fame, his work with Mike Zeck and Kelly Jones together. But I got John Beatty to sign that one for me, and hopefully hit up Kelly Jones on Facebook. He and I are friends and have corresponded a couple times. He's not a big fan of going to conventions, but he did a short boxed event in Oakland. No, I think it was San Jose, California, 2 years in a row. So John Beatty told me that that's about the only place you're going to find him if you want to see him out in the open. So I might have to hit him up, see if I can send this to him, get it signed. But yes, very happy about that one. And then after getting to talk to Steve Englehart, he was so wonderful. I was able to track down at Coops Comics, Tim's place, a Detective Comics 472, which is written by Steve Englehart, and he signed it for me right there. So keeping that for the PC after such a wonderful experience with him. And then last but not least, I already had this Black Panther #1, Christopher Priest, who I got to interact with and was a super fan of my son. Like, talk about the nicest guy to talk to. But Christopher Priest signed it for me. Could not have been a cooler guy. But picked that up, got that signed while I was there as well. So those are my pickups and tasks that I completed at the con. Go ahead.
I was going to ask if you are submitting any of those to CGC or JSA authentication.
I don't know, man. I don't know yet. The stuff that I'll keep forever, probably. Yeah.
Right.
But it's just a matter of when I want to do that. I'm more of the Mike Becker would understand this. I'm more of the experience gaining and having that memento for my experience more so than like having to put a permanent case on it and put it on display. I don't need to put it on display to know that it's there. You know what I'm saying?
I was just talking with Winter about this last time. I was like, Mike B goes to these cons for the experience. He doesn't need to like buy a bunch of keys or whatever. Yeah. He's not emotional when it comes to a ton of books. He just goes for the experience.
Oh yeah, and the stuff that, and you know this, the stuff that I keep, Carlito gave me it's a random slab of a Superman book, but Batman's on the cover.
Yep.
And he gave it to me. Honestly, if I were to sell that book, it probably wouldn't sell for as much as it costs to encapsulate it. But I'm going to keep that forever because that was such a cool experience that I got to have, that I got to meet him in person, become friends, and, cherish his friendship to this day. And same thing, you and Panda got me that, what is it, Batman 100, 1 in 25 design cover, CGC 9.8 in a Mylar bag. You present it all fancy. I will never sell that book. And because it means so much to me. You guys are such great friends, and it would when it comes to stuff like that and the experiences, to give something up is like cutting off a piece of you, if that makes any sense. Like, and you'd never be able to get it back. So for me, the conventions, it means so much more to me that, you see, and you might put it up on the screen, but that picture behind Mark Waid's booth where I'm like, to my wife, like that moment, like getting to spend that time means so much more to me than any book that he could sign for me. But the fact that I have that Tower of Babel set that he signed for me, and it's one of my all-time favorite stories. And believe it or not, that set would sit in a short box of stuff that I had to sell, and I'm like, I can't, I don't want to get rid of it. You know what? I'm not ready. And finally I said, you know what? Screw it. I know I won't sell it if I get him to sign them.
There
And
you go.
Won't
you
sell
go.
them. Won't sell them. But yeah,
So-
I'm very arbitrary when it comes to what I keep and what I don't.
So it sounds like you had a really good time, despite like not getting like a huge ton of keys and a bunch of comic vendors really not even being there. There was only a handful, but it still sounds like you had a great time. So
Yes, and shout out to GalaxyCon. They are such a well-established convention company, and it was really cool to see them flex their resources in a place that they've never been before. For the first, the inaugural, they actually had I'll have to send you the video. They had a ribbon cutting on Friday, and this dude came out with a katana and cut the ribbon.
nice.
For the first, the inaugural GalaxyCon, and they've already scheduled next year. Next year is going to be
Perfect.
Memorial Day weekend also. So it was just really cool to see that they're investing in an area that has been hurting. Like the closest thing that used to be consistent was Wizard World in Tulsa. And now that Wizard World, rest in peace, Fan Expo bought, and they kind of kept the places they wanted and got rid of the ones they didn't. And unfortunately, Tulsa was on the chopping block. So there really isn't anything in that area to give them something. But for Oklahoma City to have the Thunder there, and especially with them doing so well in the playoffs this year, Bricktown being such a cool tourist attraction and a really cool place to be, like I was really happy to see the kind of experience it was, and to be able to partake in the first ever one with a media credential. And that makes me that much more confident that, whether it be next year or following years, whenever we can go together or just me again, I know and be like, hey, I was there for the first one, hook me up. I first name basis with the head of the media guy. Like, it's just like, hey, Blaine, I'm coming back. Hook me up, would you?
There you go. Well, you did a great job, Mike V, with all the interviews of Mike Wade and sorry, not Mike Wade, Mark Wade and Steve Englehart. They'll be linked below. You did a great job. There's a ton of stars. It sounds like it was there with Anthony Starr being there and a bunch of other people.
Oh, they had some solid. I got to meet Chris Parnell because I'm a big Archer and Rick and Morty fan, so getting to meet him was cool. The one that I didn't meet, and I really regret not doing it, was Matt Ryan, my Constantine. I don't know if he's your Constantine, but he's my Constantine.
Gotcha.
That would have been a really cool one to knock out, but I was more focused on my professional obligations. No, I'm just kidding. I was more focused on gaining the experience and getting the things done that I wanted to, and the fact that my wife and son got to take part in it too was really awesome. And
That's awesome.
like I said, Steve, you got to come, man. Like,
all right, I'll try to make it next. I'll try to make it next.
It's the allure and resources of something like Planet, or kind of like that mid-major convention, but the attendance of Fountain City. Like,
Dude,
that's
yes.
probably the best way I could put it.
Well, I can't wait for Fountain City here in a couple of months, man. It's gonna be a lot of fun for sure. So,
Yep. All right.
Mike D, great job. Make sure you guys are following him on Instagram, and make sure you guys checking out the other videos he did for the channel. Already talked about an interview with Mark Wade and Steve Englehart. We appreciate you, Mike V. You're doing a great job. Thanks everyone for watching. Again, I'm Steve. This is Mike V. Put in the comment section what you guys think about today's video. What do you guys think about his haul? All that and more. All right, guys. Thanks for watching. And as always, go Cats.
Cowabunga. It's morphin' time.